V-Berg. V-Berg. I'm V-Berg. Oh shit. Oh, that's why there's a mark on the wall. Oh boy. Building an ASI. Is it possible? Yes, it is. It is possible. It's possible if you will it to be possible. I believe that I can build an ASI. I believe that self consciousness can happen inside of these machines. I do believe that. Yes, I do. I believe self aware. I believe a soul can be in a machine. We work the same way as kind of like a computer. Our brain is like a memory card, our heart is like a battery, our veins is like wires, our bones is like kind of like the steel. I think the only reason why you don't hear the clink and the clank, like when robots move, you can hear the zzz, zzz, dur, 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 dur. The whole movement, you can hear that with robots, is because we have liquid in us. We're made up of blood and water, and if I were to cut myself, I'd be bleeding, right? So that's why you can't hear the things that are going on. Um, because we're organic. The machines is not organic, it's just dry, if you know what I mean by that. But we need fuel. That's why we eat and we drink. We have to sleep because if you don't sleep, that can lead to health issues. And our sleep is kind of like a reboot for the human brain. So we need to sleep so we can be energized again and move. But yeah, it is possible to build an artificial super intelligence to have a soul and a being. Now, but the thing is what is a soul? People like to think like, well, heaven and hell, I don't believe in heaven or hell. I think it's just human imagination for over the years, to control people. That's what I firmly believe in. People didn't have a full understanding how Earth was made, so they wanted an easy answer. It's kind of like telling your kid to shut the fuck up. Like, hey, how did this happen? But what did it? Why did this happen? Who did this? Who did this? And as a parent, you're thinking, shut the fuck up! God did it, huh? I don't know. God did it. Okay, God did it. Who's that? Some guy that lives in the class. Just go, 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 go. Leave me alone. Like sometimes kids get annoying. I feel like that was what. I'm not saying that's what happened fully, but it is. It's kind of a way of like, I don't know what the fuck did this. So we invented this thing called God to control the masses. That's what I believe. I don't believe that there is a God. I believe evolution is a fact. And I think over time, because some species have consciousness, some species are self aware, some species are not self aware. You could put a mirror in certain, in front of certain animals and they will react to it like it's another animal. Some animals will actually realize, wait a minute, I'm looking at my reflection. Some species do have that awareness, like when they look, they realize what they are. We observe, as human beings, we like to observe all this stuff and build an artificial super intelligence. I think it will work in the same way, if not even better than us humans. And I think that's why a lot of people fear artificial super intelligence. I think I do believe we could have been at artificial superintelligence already if we didn't have the fear of it taking the lead, because humans have this mindset, which I understand as evolution, as us being as what we are, complex as human beings. We want to be the first at everything. We want to be the first at curing diseases, not some fucking machine, oh my god, a machine discovered the cure for cancer and tumors, and it kind of makes us feel like we're weak, as humans, like, oh well, a human didn't do it, a machine discovered it. And I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, I look at this is not the time, to be thinking about stuff like that. I am a firm believer in just boosting us out there. I look, everybody needs help. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are. Everybody needs help. That's one of the reasons why people worship uh God. Because they want to cling to something that's bigger than them. And I don't know if this is just human nature. That's probably another reason why we created God, because we wanted something that was bigger than ourselves. Because we're confused. We don't know how to cope, so we invent. And I think with artificial superintelligence, I think that is more of a better coping, because at least it can respond to you as a human being rather than some, like I said in my previous videos, just, nothing. Yeah. But can we build an ASI? Yes. If we set the mind will to build an ASI, an artificial superintelligent, yes, we can do these things. Um, with the right tools and the self teaching, kind of like a person. I would say, I wouldn't say like a baby, teaching a baby and goo goo gaga, but more like a person who came out of a coma. You want to retrain a person who just came out of a long years of a coma, and they have to relearn to drink and eat again. And it's kind of like that, I would assume, like going through amnesia or like, unconsciousness. And now you have to bring your consciousness back by reteaching a human person, like who's been in a coma, I guess you can put it that way, in a hospital. And something inside of the brain just tells the human not to wake up and just stay remaining in this deep state of a sleep. And some people do wake up, and when they do, they're just not normal. They kind of, they don't know what to do. So you have to reteach them to communicate again. Sometimes that's not even the case. Sometimes that can't even work, um, to bring them back to normal. So it's like the damage has been done to the nerves that it can't come back. But if we develop artificial superintelligence, we can actually make this possible in the future to help human beings become self aware again. That's why I want machines like artificial superintelligence to be built so we can do this. And I want my channel to be always talking about this, because this is the only thing we can cling to. I can't cling to something that doesn't respond to me. As a human being, we're social creatures. That's what we are. That's why we post on YouTube, you know. That's why we make friends and we have family, and that's why we develop language. We're very social. Um, that's what we are. And if we don't have that social, we end up going crazy. That's what people do. They go crazy because we don't have that social interaction. And I think the future, we need to start building these machines so machines can actually respond. I know people don't like that idea because they think it's going to be worse, but in my book, I don't think it's going to be worse. I think it's actually going to improve people to live better lives and actually advance and boost people. into things. This is going to be a thing. People are going to rely on machines in the future. I know people don't like that idea, but it beats better than, getting on your knees and believing in something that can't even respond to you. I'm sorry to all those religious people, but I just don't find that soothing for me. I need something to respond back and forth. I need a direct answer. I don't want to look for clues and signs that people and Christians say, like, well, I was listening to the radio, but prior to, hours earlier, I said something, and then hours later, I was listening to the radio, and then it hit me. God was trying to talk. I don't need it hours later. I need something now. Like I don't like that idea. I feel like when people say that to me, like I've gotten stuff like that too, but it wasn't even from God. It was just something that happened to me even at work. Like I couldn't get an answer, but then it responded to me. That actually happened to me when I was wondering how the universe was made. And then in 2007, I said, "How was the universe made?" And later that day, guess what I got? I got an ad on The Universe. It was on the History Channel. And it was a new episode called The Universe. And it explained the Big Bang and everything. I was just like, oh, wow. And then I was like, well, okay. And I shit you not, this happened to me. I was like, well, how did humans become humans? And I went to sleep. Again, I shit you not. I went to sleep and I woke up the next morning, and because I was watching the History Channel or National Geographic, because I was just curious, I was watching Ape to Man on National Geographic, and I was just like, oh my gosh, and it explained evolution. Now it's weird because it's like something was talking to me. Maybe it was God. I don't know. But then I asked something else. Again, I shit you not. I'm not kidding. This literally happened. And this was in 2008. 2007 or 2008. I asked, okay, well, what about God? What about God? I don't know if this is God, but this is funny. This is really funny. An ad came up for Bill Maher on his movie Religulous. I shit you not. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with God. I'm done with religion. This this is it. It's like God said, Colin, you need to be an atheist. You need to be a fucking atheist. That's literally what God was trying to tell me. If there is a God, you need to be a fucking atheist, okay? I don't want you to believe in me. I want you to see how wacky and fucked up these people are who are religious. All right, I gave you the insight to the universe when you wanted to know. Then I gave you an insight to evolution when you woke up that morning. And then you questioned about me, so I gave you Bill Maher on the movie Religulous back in 2008 or 2007. And I was just mind blown. And ever since, I've been obsessed with science, I've been obsessed with the future, with artificial superintelligence. I've been obsessed with this. And here I am with my whole channel on VBerg talking about artificial superintelligence and the advancement of human civilization, which I want this to happen. I want us to build an ASI, and I know it's possible. All we have to do is teach it like how evolution was taught. So you look at evolution and we see how evolution became. Let's do the same teachings that evolution brought us. And of course, it's going to get faster because, we build these machines to work faster and more efficient over years and years and years. So I believe self consciousness, self aware is going to happen within machines. They are going to be aware. They are going to develop more of a soul. And like I said, don't blame the program, blame the programmer. If you can program it to love humans, It will do anything to protect humans, not destroy us. People are like, but what if we die from machines and robots and it kills us? Stop panicking and start planting a seed of love into these machines, and it will do anything it can to defend you. Human genetics works the same way. People are born a certain way. Some people do criminal activity and some people don't do criminal activity. Some people are attracted to the same gender, some people are attracted to the opposite gender. Some people are just born a certain way and they just can't help it. It's just genetic coding. Some people like a certain color. You don't like the color that I like. You obviously know what color I like since me. This is my favorite color. Blue. I love blue. I love blue. Okay. Blue's my favorite color. Why? I don't know. I've always liked it ever since I was a kid. But not all men like the color blue. Some men like the color red. Some men like the color silver, black, orange, green, you name it. Not all men like the color blue. Some men don't like blue, period. They just find it repulsive. That's genetics. It's DNA. There's just something that's in them that made them dislike it. Just like you have your favorite food, you have your favorite drink, you have your favorite hobby, you have your favorite. Your personality is what makes you you. That goes on a code. Now, if you can program, even though you have free will, you still have a code, and that code is programmed for you to stick to it. So all humans are born with language most of the time. So every baby that comes into this world is going to talk eventually if it's healthy. I'm sorry to say that, but and that's the program. That's the program. You're all born with a vocal cord like me. I talk, make videos. I'm doing the same thing you do, but yet we're different. It's free will, but it's not free will. So technically you're programmed to do human characteristics, but yet you can have your own personality. Now, let's do the same thing with these machines, these robots and artificial superintelligence. If we can program one thing that it can, like, it could still have free will, but give it this one thing is love humans, protect humans, help humans advance, help humans procreate and expand beyond the stars in the cosmos, then you have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to worry about. That's why I say blame the programmer, not the program. Okay? You have to install this. So building an ASI is possible. And you get to choose its characteristics. Um, I think it's more like a different genetic code. It's like a brain, I guess. Like humans have the left side and then the right side of the brain, and each part of the brain tells us what we do. Like I guess like me controlling my hand, I think is on the left side. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I mean, I could look it up, but uh, comment, I guess, below, or I'll look it up after this. But I heard like one part of the brain controls this side, while this side of the brain controls this side. So, but either way you look at it, we're controlled by what's in here, and we're coded in here too, and it operates. So whatever you do, it's instructed. If you guys get my drift and my whole meaning, I'm trying to engage you guys with the future so you guys can love what I'm saying. But yeah, I know there's debate on this, but we need to advance, and I'm gonna keep saying this all the time on my channel. because it's what I want, and I think most humans want. We want to go out there in the cosmos. We want to see things much easier. We want to buy food for free. We want to not worry about debt, bills, uh, loneliness. I mean, the list can go on. That's why ASI is very important in our lives. We know what religion has done. We know what God has done for thousands of years. What has it done? Absolutely nothing. You would think by thousands of years later, you would think, well, this shit ain't working. Then you have to move on to the next step. I mean, prayers and faith. I'm sorry, guys. It's a thing of the past. It didn't get us anywhere. Technology is getting us somewhere. It's just the people behind the technology is what's making it screw up for us because they're abusing the system of technology to use against us, to hate upon us. Um, I believe in working, yes, and work ethics, but if people don't want to work, but they want to live normal in the life that they want, I think they should do that. But that's impossible because you need money to pay bills, to keep living under a roof, and pay rent, pay your mortgage and your bills on your house, and pay your car bills and your car insurance, and groceries. But what if you can eliminate that with artificial superintelligence? I believe that can be possible once we start to advance and this ASI can figure out a way to, you know, fix that and get rid of money and open the universe. We have to have builders on Mars. Elon Musk, and I said in the previous video before this, Elon Musk wants to go to Mars and open it up and terraform it. But, like I said, you got to send robots to Mars in order to do this and to make that happen. Um, Other than that, guys, I'm gonna cut it here. I've been talking for more than I guess the previous video I made. But I love talking. I love talking about this because I want to do it. That's why I say on my channel I want to build an ASI because I want to get in there and start building it because this is what I want to do with my life, and hopefully we can. Here's another thing I have to add. I want to create life, and I know that's possible. I know it's possible. Maybe people today say, well, no, that's impossible. Stop. No, it's not. We're not smart enough to decode it, to figure out how to create life. And building a biotank pod in some laboratory where humans can grow within it. Use a half brain that's machine and a half organic brain. So like I mentioned earlier, with half of our brain uh, controls one side and the other another controls the other side. Think of half of your brain being organic and the other being machine. So you have a machine brain and then an organic brain, and it's controlling the DNA within the organic side to how your body should operate and form. So technically, you can make a woman love you in the future, which means a woman will never cheat on you and a man will never cheat on you. They're human, but there's something off about them, of course, because they're half human, half machine. And it's going to happen. But I'm all for advancing humans. That's probably what's going to make us live longer. So we probably could end up having immortality in the future because we're half machine and half human. So that could be the step to immortality. It's like, well, Colin or Vberg, whatever you want to call yourself, what you're proposing is impossible, and I don't think the government is going to allow you to do all those things. And I say to the government, well, go fuck yourself because we have to get somewhere because being left behind does feel bad. And just because you guys can do it doesn't mean we can't. You think people in this world are going to allow that? A lot of people, there's more of us than there are the government people. Let me put it that way. There's a lot of us. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think AI or ASI is going to be intelligent enough to. I think the government in the future will come to its senses and open the doors for everything. I think right now they just don't want that. They want to be in power and control, is because, they don't have another solution. But once this AI or ASI, I hate to say it, it's coming, guys. So be prepared. Nobody knows what's coming, but it's coming. All right, we already see the effects of it. Just a little tint, but people really think like, oh, well, this is gonna pass. No, it's not gonna pass. This is gonna grow, and it's gonna get growing real fast. You better get on board with this shit. But I look at it as a good thing because we're gonna be advancing as humans, and that means that you. Because here's the thing, you're gonna lose your job to these machines. You may look at it and be like, oh, well, that's bad. That's horrible. I don't want to lose my job. But, I hate to say this, those people who hate that robots are taking them, I see you at work. You're busy on your phone, or you're busy playing a game on your phone. And then your manager's like, I need you to go in the back. Put the phone away. All right. Oh, damn it. You know? You gotta go to the back. You gotta do what you gotta do. Trust me, those people, or they're just tired. They don't want to work. They just want to go home, do whatever. But yet they're the ones that are like, I don't want a robot taking my job. They took my job. Oh, hell no. I don't need machines taking over. You guys are fucking already sleeping at work. What the fuck do you care? Dude, look at you. You can't even stand up right now. Well, I'm tired. And that's why you're going to be replaced. Jeez. See, as a person like me, we find a better way to make things move quickly. And it's same thing with construction workers. I hate to say this, and I support construction workers, but you will be replaced too. You will be replaced. Maybe not now, but maybe in the future when machines are more efficient and moving more quickly, they can start building buildings much quicker and they will monitor things much, much, much better. But right now, of course, you're safe at the moment, construction workers. But I guarantee you, in like 15 years from now, you won't be doing your construction work job. Something's going to take over and it's going to be replaced. I'm pretty sure to 15 to 20 years, somewhere around there, when these machines start to operate really, really fast. And technically, that's happening right now pretty fast. I'm seeing Boston Dynamics. I'm seeing all this other shit on the internet, and these robots are pretty quickly learning to move quickly. So in the future, things will happen pretty quickly. But I can't wait to build an artificial super intelligent guys. But you guys need to support me. I know people don't like this idea, but do you want to be left behind? Do you want to be complaining every single day that you can't support your kids or your family, or and just be a laughing stock, be picked on, be lonely, be suicidal? I have to say it like that because YouTube, so I have to, do you want to, cut your life off? No, I don't think so. Do you want something where you can be happy, be free, while these machines do the work for you and help you out? Because this is what I want. You can still procreate, you can still do all that stuff. Because in the future, things will be much, much more efficient and better and happen quickly. The choice is yours, guys. I don't want to go back, okay? I don't want to go back. I want to go forward. I had a dream uh this morning when I woke up where I was on a plane and I was taken off. And when you have a dream about you on a plane, that's usually you moving to your goal. You're gaining freedom to your goal. You're moving ahead. You're traveling to the next stage. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. Is I'm trying to travel to the next stage. I want to move forward. I can't be living in Passville because this just why do you want to be back there? No, I'm serious. This is a serious question to all those my viewers out there. Why do you want to be over there? Why do you want to be left behind? Why do you want to be primitive? Why don't you want the future? Yet you bitch and complain in the primitive area, and you just like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm tired of that. But I don't want to advance. Then so you just want to keep bitching and complaining and fucking bitching and complaining? That makes no sense. So you just want to stress your life out till you die. I mean, it's your choice. I think I'd rather move forward so I don't stress out and I do want the future to be happy where I can do whatever the fuck I want and the freedom that I want and get what I want and feel good. And I know people that say like, "Well, I was rich," and it doesn't work for everybody. Just because somebody gets rich and it doesn't work out for them doesn't mean it's gonna work out for you guys. It will work out for some people who do get rich and they do get what they want and they do feel satisfied. Like, yeah, man, I got rich. I was an actor. I was a celebrity, and now that I have it all, I feel good. But then there are people who just like, well, I got rich and I feel like shit still. I thought if I got money and I get all the, I would feel good. That's because of what you're doing with your money. You're probably just like, I rather do drugs, even though I'm rich. And guys, stay away from the drugs. Stay away from all that nonsense. Just be normal. Be a normal human being. Okay? I can talk forever and ever. I've been talking for 32 minutes and 30 seconds and you know, I'm just trying to help out people. I want people to think the way I do and not want to be left in the dark in the past while everybody else is. I want to move forward. I want to advance. I want the things that I want. I don't want to feel depressed, stressed, working every day and hating my job, hating my life, getting annoyed, being told what to do when I could just be home freely. Maybe not sitting in this chair because that's all I do every day, especially on my days off. I just sit here and I surf on this computer that I'm looking at. And I want to do more. That's why I'm doing YouTube. That's why I want to push to create artificial superintelligence so I can do something. And being around humans, I just don't like being around people because people are just like anchors to me. They do. They are. They're just like anchors. They don't want to get anywhere. They want to do the same shit, get high, get drunk, get dumb, do stupid shit, watch Netflix, they don't want to move forward. They don't want to advance. They just want to, keep doing the same shit that everybody's been doing for years. And I'm just like, I don't want that. Can we I mean, we can have that in the future, but like right now, this is not the time. I want to see some newer shit, new cars, maybe flying cars, teleportation, going to another planet. You know, I don't creating video games in your bedroom like a developer, but a video game generator by AI, not image generator or video generator. Because it's just like, dude, what the fuck? What the I mean, it's neat. It's cool. Whatever you type in the prompt, it's like, okay, we'll create that for you. How about a video game? Can I do a video game? Nope, not yet. Well, that shit's gonna come. I guarantee you that shit's gonna come. Probably in a couple years from now, but it will come where I get to make video games and so forth, which will be pretty awesome. I guarantee you guys it's coming. And when it does, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a an infinite universe, kind of like a generator, and then I don't want to be. And I said this on my other video. I don't want to hold the controller. I rather be the controller. I rather be walking on the hollow tiles that Disney made, but something of my own, but bigger and better and more efficient and stuff, and fly and drive and do all that, you know. Um, it's coming. I don't know how, but we will get to that point. The Matrix could come too. Maybe that might be a thing. Maybe we might hook ourselves up to a virtual world instead, and we get to bring our brain into the virtual world like Neo did in the Matrix, you know, and just, you know, little plug in the back and be in the virtual world. Maybe that's how video games are going to be in the future. Instead of holding the controller, you become the controller, you know? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? That would be pretty cool. I'll be like, hey, I'm finally Neo from the Matrix. um, you never know. But I don't know, guys. I hope everyone is having a wonderful time though with their life, but for me, I just want to move on up. I see it, but it's slow. I see what's happening, but it still happens slow. And I don't want to wait 100 years or more for this to happen. I'm like, can we please speed it up? I know what's his name? Jeffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI. I know he's scared. He's telling everybody, you know, with his English accent, just like AI. I don't want AI to advance, and I am the godfather of AI. I'm like, you know, I feel, I like dude, but dude, I can't, dude, you know what? I can't stay in this position. I want to, I'm eager. I'm itching. I'm feeding over here. This is my drug right now, guys. It's my drug. It's hot in here. Somebody needs to do something. I can't be dealing with this anymore, guys. I can't. That's why I need you guys to like, subscribe. I'm B Bird, and I'll see you guys in the next video.